Hello, good afternoon, everybody. Today we're going to talk about value at risk. So, value at risk, value at risk. So, this is a measurement for market risk. So, only consider the market risk because you can have other risks, for example, operational risk and all kinds of risks. But this is only referring to market risk. Okay, market risk. So, the idea is very simple. If you have an investment, example, investment. Okay, let's say I dump in 100,000 in a stock market. So now you can buy Nvidia, and the US allowed the H20 to be sold to China market. So the Nvidia go up drastically, and then it's almost close to $170, which is I mean uh, before the highest peak. Okay, okay, so the value at risk basically would answer you what is the risk is actually the loss. Okay, so the risk is actually the stock price goes downwards. Okay, so when the stock price you buy at 170, and then let's say it dropped to 160, then you're going to have a loss. Okay, this will be considered as risk. Okay, this is considered as risk. So this risk basically, you will know how much money, okay, you could be lose on this investment in the worst case scenario. Okay, but of course it has to be consider a certain confidence level. Okay, so in value at risk, you must have three components. So you must have capital invested, let's say 100k. Then the next thing is confidence interval, or confidence level, sorry. So how confident you are about the risk. So the value at risk basically is the amount, it's the quantity of risk, quantity of loss, how much you're going to lose. Last one is the time horizon. So it can be 1 day, can be 1 week, and it can be annually as well. Okay, so these are the three things will be considered in the value at risk. So you can say, for example, your value at risk is referring to, so your, let's say 1 day VAR, 1 day value at risk at, let's say, 95% confidence level, or 95% confidence. Confidence is, let's say, this one is 5k, okay, 5,000. So you actually have the time duration, the time horizon. This is the confidence level, and then this is the amount of money. So this amount of money basically is referring to VAR. 5,000 is your VAR. Okay, okay, great. So what you can say is, so you have a 95% chance interpret. So your 95% chance or probability that of not losing more than 5k in the next day, one day. Okay, but at the same time, we are 95% confidence of it. That means if you have invested in 100, let's say investment in one day, 95 out of 100 cases, the risk will be not. I mean, let's say the same scenario we're talking about. Okay, invested 100k, and then in 100 investment, 95% the loss will not be more than 5,000. Okay, so still, in other words, you have 5% chance that by chance, okay, your loss, or you may lose more than 5k. Okay, by chance. So this is actually by chance. Okay, actually by chance. So by knowing so, if you are an investor, let's say if you're okay with, let's say, 5k, that might be the worst loss in the next day. So 95% confidence about that. So if you're a risk taker, maybe you said this might be too low. Let's say if 10k, of course, if you're given a higher returns, then people will take it, right? If you're a risk taker. But most of the investors are risk averse. They're worried about risk. So maybe 5k is just nice for them. Okay? 5k is just nice for them. So in most of the time, the bank and the insurance company will actually refer to the VAR as one of the quantitative measurement of the market risk. Okay, so if you are the manager or the investor uh, in any bank or insurance, you should refer to VAR as an indicator of risk. So you can categorize your portfolio according to low risk, medium risk, or high risk. Okay, so therefore your customer will actually, I mean, you can tailor your portfolio based on their risk preferences. Okay, so here we're talking about loss because uh, there's a chance that it depends on what type of investment. Okay, type of investment. So let's say if you have 100 days, I mean 100 cases of investment. So let's say this is your return. So let's say this is 0% returns you get. Actually, you don't get or lose anything. And then this will be the positive returns. And then this side will be the negative returns. Let's say this is 1%, minus 1%, minus 2%, so on and so forth. So this is 1% positive, 2% positive, and so on and so forth. Okay. So if you are long the position of a trading position, let's say you long in a long position. So this one should be the short position. Short position. So long that means you buy the asset, and then of course you hope the asset actually going to appreciate. So the price difference will be your profit. So for short position, you are borrow from others or lend from others. You borrow from others. Then you need to return the particular asset in the future. Let's say after 3 months, 2 months. So this is more like a short selling. Okay. So the risk of long position, of course, you worry the price to go down. So the risk for borrowing or short position, we worry the price to go up. Okay, so if you have a investment, so we put in among, let's say, 100 investment, we end up to have, let's say, 0% is the most. So this is the worst This is the worst. Okay? So this will be the best return. Okay, best return. So when you have a long position, the 95% confidence most probably will refer to the left tail. Okay? Let's say this is a 5%. Okay, the worst 5%, and then let's say this is the best 5%. 5%. Okay, so this will refer to the types of investment: long position or short position. Right? Long position or short position. So if you want to have returns distribution, then the left tail is the loss for long position, the right tail is the loss for short position. Okay, so the center will be the average returns. Center will average return. Okay, guys. So this is a very basic idea of value at risk. Okay? So there are three components: the time horizon, the confidence level, and then the amount of money, which is the value at risk. Okay, so this is a very good indicator for investor. If let's say I have dumped in 100K in the stock market, so what is my worst returns for the next day or one day? Okay, so the VAR can provide, let's say, a quantitative value. Let's say $5,000 is my worst loss for the next day, okay? But I'm 95% confidence about this because there's a by chance, let's say the market abnormally, then basically you have the higher chance to lose more than 5,000. Okay, so this is by chance 5%. So there are two types of investment: the long position and short position. So if you long the position, you buy the asset, you own the asset, then you hope the price will appreciate, then the price difference will be a profit. If you short the position, when you borrow something from others, you need to return the same asset to the person. Of course, we hope the price not to go up. If the price go up, you need to pay a higher price to return the same asset at a higher cost. Okay, so this is uh, what value at risk about. Okay, so most of the analysis will more to the long position, okay, where the price, the risk is actually the price goal. Okay, guys. So this is a very brief explanation of value at risk. So we further the analysis discussion after this. Thank you very much. See you guys.